Okay, this is another lesson. This is the Firetruck. This is a young lesson. This is suitable for children 3 to 5 years old. And we're going to be drawing a fire truck. Hi friends, thanks for joining me here today on the Kids Drawing Channel. And today I'm drawing a fire truck. This is a suitable lesson for children 3 to 6 years old. And a fire truck, and we have a fire hydrant and maybe some flames coming up. To do this lesson, we're going to be drawing this using the 5 elements of shape, and I am drawing today with a Papermate Flare pen. These are great because they don't smear, and I would recommend that any child who wants to learn how to draw have a nice stash of drawing papers and some decent drawing tools. At least one flare, I call it my drawing pen, one flare pen, and some nice pencils. Make sure on your pencils that you get white erasers and not pink erasers so they don't stain your paper. So we're going to start with the Papermate pen, and to do this drawing today, we're going to start with the 5 elements of shape. And so I'd recommend your student get a piece of paper, just a piece of copy paper, and practice drawing some shapes. Fill up the page before they get started, and that helps relax the brain and relax the hand. We don't want to have a death grip, and we want to practice drawing small circles, and they can be smooshed. They can look like peanuts, but small ones, and big circles. So I want them to fill up a page with small circles and big circles, and then have them draw some dots. And dots are anything roundish and filled in. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. And so have them practice just circle, circle, circle. And we want them to take their time and not go really fast. So small circles. And the other 3 elements of shape that we're going to be using are straight lines. So let them practice, just like their ABCs, just have them practice drawing some straight lines and curved lines. Now curved lines can go in either direction. They could be really curvy or gentle curves. Those are curved lines. And then we have angle lines, and angle lines are lines that curve so much, or bend so much they come to a point. So you could say, oh, do some mountains or some teeth if they're real young. These are angle lines. And as we're drawing today, everything we draw, we're going to be drawing using angle lines, curved lines, straight lines, circles, and dots. Okay, so let's get started. And you might say, well, where do we get started? So I'm going to start with the wheels on the bus, this object. I'm going to start with the wheels here, and I'm going to start with 2 circles on my paper. I'm going to put a dot, and I'm going to space them apart as I get started. So ask your student to put 2 dots on their paper. Now, if you start your dots up here, your fire truck might go off the page, but that's okay. You can put some interesting things in the front. But I did mine kind of in the middle of my paper, and I'm going to start with 2 smaller circles. And then I'm going to make a larger circle around that. Okay? 2 circles. And then a straight line between them. Now, if you want to practice drawing straight lines with children, sometimes kids have a hard time doing straight lines, especially if it's a little bit longer. What I recommend is you get a cereal box, cut that cereal box up. The cardboard on the cereal box is really great for doing straight lines, because if you put the rough part of the cardboard on paper, it has little grippers. It doesn't slide so much on the paper, and they can use that as a ruler rather than like a plastic ruler that might really slide on your paper. And I'm going to put the doors on my fire truck next, and in the middle I'm going to put a straight line, and I'm going to put a straight line on top so it looks like a letter T, 2 straight lines, and then I'm going to bring down both sides. So I made a little door, because fire trucks have lots of doors to put all their supplies. And I'm going to put 2 little tiny straight lines for the handles on my fire truck. Now, I am going to put a ladder. Now, my ladder goes off to one side, because this is going to be the front of my fire truck and this is going to be the back. So I'm going to start up above my tires and do a straight line that goes back, and I want it to go back further than this tire. So make a straight line that goes back further, and there's a little bit of a space there. And then we're going to double that, so do a second straight line right above it. Then I want to space and do straight lines that come down, evenly spaced. This is my ladder, or one of the ladders on my Firetruck. And you need to have, to make it look more real like a true ladder, you need to have some overhang on either end. So if you don't have overhang, make your line just a little bit longer. And we'll go ahead and do this line on the back here. So I'm going to pretend this line goes all the way through and make a dot on the other side. And then do a straight line that comes back. I want it to be longer than my ladder. And I could do the same thing on the front. Pretend that line goes through, put a little dot on the other side, and then straighten it out on the front side. That's my Firetruck length. But you know what? My Firetruck has a little fender on the back, so I'm going to put a little straight line and another straight line here, and I'm going to have it come back just a little bit. So I made like a little box, a little rectangle on the end. And then I'm going to do one more long straight line up here above my ladder. I'm going to do another line that comes all the way down. And as I get close to the end here, I'm going to curve it and do a straight line and bring it down. Now if yours is just a little wobbly, you can actually use that. Do it again and try and get your line, or you could start down here at the bottom, do a straight line up, and then curve it and do two different lines coming down. But we can put lots of stuff. So when you look at a Firetruck, they have lots of boxes, and they have gear, they have lights, they have circles. So I'm just putting some extra things on my Firetruck in the back. And then they have that really big pull ladder that's on the back. So I'm going to do, again, I'm going to do another straight line here, but I'm not going to go all the way to the back. I'm going to do a small straight line here, and then another straight line that goes all the way to the back. And I made some X's with a series of straight lines, and if you want to put some more spacing, this is my ladder. I'm just putting straight lines, crossing straight lines. As it comes back. And I've got to have the support. This is a big ramp. So it's got this curve line where that's going to connect. And if I wanted to put another piece in here, I could. But I want to have my ladder come back just a little bit more and then attach to that so it looks like it goes up and down. And maybe there's a hose. So I'm going to put a curve line here and a curve line, a double curve line. So maybe there's a big hose attachment that goes on the back of my truck. Okay, so now I've kind of finished with the back of my Firetruck. I need to do the front. And I'm going to come back over here to where my ladder is, and I'm going to extend it just a little bit more, and then I'm going to do a straight line that intersects. So I'm going to do a straight line that comes up just a little bit, and then it's going to be a straight line that comes over across. I want them to be about the same distance from here to here. So if you've made your straight line, you need to make it a little bit longer. Or if you made it too long, just make this one a little bit longer until they line up. And then let's go ahead and put the front on. So I did a straight line, come down. And I'm going to put my lights on the top of the truck. So I'm going to do, you can do them small, you can do a series. But I did two straight lines with a straight line on top. I can do it again, do another straight line. To me, that's a little bit more what the lights look like on the top. And to make it look like it's flashing, I'm going to do some straight lines off the top that kind of spread out like a fan. And then I'm going to put some dots at the top. Now I have to put the door for my driver. So let's go ahead and go back over here, and I'm going to put more straight lines. There's a lot of straight lines in this drawing. So I did straight line, and straight line, and make a little tiny straight line for the handle on the door. And then we're going to make the window for the driver on the side, and that's a straight line. Make it about the same distance that you did up above. This window is going to be bigger. So I'm going to bring it up, straight line, and straight line. To make it look a little more real, I'm going to double that line. I'm going to double it here on the bottom, and I'm going to double it here on the back. Well, now we have to put a window in the front. So I'm going to do 2 straight lines, and I made this one a little bit taller than my window. I'm going to curve it down, and attach it. And then I need to put that big bumper on the front, so I could put a square here. I could even bring it out more in the front. And there might be some buttons, there might be some hose attachment, maybe there's a red cross box, but I'm going to put maybe a big handle here. So I'm just putting some other things on my Firetruck to make it look a little more real. Or you could put a big F for a fire department, big F. And there's my Firetruck. But right now my Firetruck is kind of floating in the air, so I need to put him down onto some ground. So I did a straight line underneath, and it's not perfectly straight, but that's okay. And let's go ahead and put a fire hydrant, okay? Fire hydrant. I'm going to drop my fire hydrant down a little bit lower. And again, it's a series of straight lines. We're going to start here on the bottom and do this small rectangle. So I have 2 straight lines, and I'm going to do a tiny straight line to connect, and then I do one that's a little bit smaller on top. Bring it in a little bit, a little straight line all the way across. And then I'm going to do a straight line that comes up, and a straight line that comes up. And I want them to be about the same distance on top with the straight line. Then if we look at a fire hydrant, it's got those access points on the fire hydrant, and I can put one here in the middle. If I look at it straight on, it looks like a circle, and then I'm going to do a circle inside and a little tiny square in the side with straight lines. Here on the sides, when I look at the side, it's 2 little rectangles again done with straight lines. So little tiny straight line, and then we're going to do one more and on top of that on either side. And a lot of fire hydrants, I know, they have these kind of ridges that go on the side. So I'm going to do just a few more straight lines as they come down. And then they have that curved kind of top, but the base is going to be a little bit wider here on the top. So I made my lines, excuse me, a little bit longer. And I'm going to do a double again. These are just straight lines. And then I'm going to do a curve here on the top. Curve it all the way up and over. And I'll do a curved line here, and a curved line here, and a little tiny square with straight lines at the top. And maybe there's a hose that connects from my fire hydrant all the way over. I'm going to make a real curvy line all the way over. And let's say there's a circle here, and a circle here, maybe a big box where it all connects. And I'm going to do a double curve line coming back. Then I'm going to what, let's go ahead and extend that line so we have that. And maybe there's some grass next to that fire hydrant or in front of. Just put some curved lines. But where's the fire? So I put kind of a box here with some flames coming out. But you can put it whatever you want. If you want to put a big building, you can put a building here in the background. Let's do that. With some more straight lines. All the way down. And let's say there's some windows. These are just straight lines. So it's behind my fire truck. Straight lines. And I have another window that's behind this hose. Right there. It's my windows. And maybe there's a big door. Now we can't see it because it's behind here. To make it look more real, I'm going to double that line right there. And maybe there's a big roof. But where are the flames? I can have the flames coming through the windows. I can do them small. I could do a curved line right here with my point, bring it down just a little bit and make it fat. Or I could have big flames coming up. So if I come up here, there's flames coming up. I'm going to do curvy lines, real curvy lines. See how curvy that is? Then I'm going to do a curved line here, bring it all the way up. I made it a little bit higher to make my flames look more real, because flames are very, very curvy. Do another real curvy line, and I can do one more real curvy line and bring it down. I could have maybe flames shooting up in the air. And let's do that again. And you can make it however you want it. Very curvy. All the way back. Very curvy. Then I have more flames. Should we do one more? Okay. I'll have it kind of go in the other direction this time. Start on the side, curve it up, bring it to a point, curve it back around. Curve it back around, all the way over. Those are my flames. And let's kind of extend this out. You might want to put a tree, or you could put water. I'm going to put some water coming out here. Real curvy lines. Maybe they've been shooting the water onto the flames, and it's all on the street. If you've ever been to a fire, it's very, very messy, and there's usually lots of water in the area. So there's my drawing of a fire truck. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know. And this is Kids Drawing Channel on YouTube. Thanks so much.